Hi, I'm Malcolm McDonald, ex-number 9 for Newcastle United, and you're watching Newcastle Fans TV.
Hello Newcastle Fans TV. So yeah, we got beat off Forest. Everyone was down in the dumps. But you know, in these kind of videos, what we'll do is we'll analyse the goals. Not so much the all-round performance, we'll just look at the goals and see who's at fault and see who's done well. And finally, Newcastle have actually scored some goals, so we can analyse the goals. So let's get on with the video then. So let's bring it up with the first slide then. This is the first goal, which was scored by Mitrovic. As you can see, Rolando Aarons intercepts the ball. Now, if we move across, moving on to the next slide, you can see that Rolando Aarons is now starting to bust a gut to get it in the box. And now you see Mitrovic switched on. Mitrovic is like, now I can see a bit of, I might get played in here. So he's on the move. Moving across now to the next slide, Forest defenders are now drawn to the ball. So they're coming towards Rolando Aarons. And you can see a little bit of room moving, freeing up basically for Mitrovic. Now, Aarons now realises this. Aarons passes it to Mitrovic. Mitrovic now has a little touch, he lets the ball run, but he has Jacob Murphy bursting on the right hand flank, which is free. So he could play Murphy in here, so he could have passed. However, Mitrovic lets the ball roll over, as I've mentioned, and then fires it into the top corner for an absolutely fantastic finish. What a finish from Mitrovic, you know. For me, I'm going to say it now, your strikers are judged by goals, and if your striker scores, he has to play the next game for me. So coming up on the weekend against West Ham, I want to see Mitrovic up top rather than Gale, because you play your strikers who are in form. Now, this is where Forest scored 2 goals within the space of 2 to 3 minutes. It was Cummins, who you could see it coming, pardon the punt and all of this. We've got some poor defending to get through here, so let's get it on then. So the first slide, now Jamie Sterry is easily beaten. So Forest are now coming in off the flanks. But what's Xavier doing, and why isn't Hanley tighter? Both of them lack of communication again. So it's really, really poor. Moving across to the second slide, that's now forced Mbemba to come out to basically, well, stop him having a shot at goal. However, what that then allows is it allows Gamez, he has to pick up an extra runner. So he follows previously Mbemba's runner, which leaves a man free out wide, which I think was Eric Lejay. Moving across to the third slide, the ball is played out wide. Now Xavier is drawn to the ball rather than his man, leaving again another man on the edge of the box. And Gamez also comes out to shut the winger down. Now, as the play develops, the ball is placed back, cut back. Hanley, for me, has to be tighter. Why isn't Grant Hanley tighter? Little cross comes in, Cummins ducks down, and for me, Hanley's way off, and Forest go and equalise. So there's multiple errors there, you know, by the likes of Xavier, Hanley, you know. So yes, we're being nitty-picky in these kind of videos, but the reality is we've got to stay up in the Premier League, and if you don't cut out your mistakes, you'll get relegated by the way that Newcastle are playing. So as I mentioned, Forest went out on the score again. It was Cummins again. So simple. This is what annoys me. A simple, basic long ball from the back, as you can see in the first clip. That's all it is. And then you can see Cummins has started to run. The lack of communication from Hanley and Mbemba. For me, this happened to Grant Hanley numerous times. In particular, the first half, he was getting beat by the ball in behind from the pace. Cummins runs on. As you can see, Mbemba's trying to get back because he's got the better pace. And then Cummins, a fantastic lob. What a finish it is to lob Darlow. And then Forest go 2-1 up. So a mixture of probably both there between Grant Hanley and Chancellor Mbemba. But it's simple. And you've got to ask yourself this question. The reserve sides aren't really going to get a look in defensively. We'll come on to some positive at the end of the video. 2-2. Fabulous goal by Rolando Aarons. Let's get on the slides again. So a bit of ping pong as Forest are slightly out of position. Diame picks the ball up and he receives it and he hits it first time to Aarons. Okay, so moving on to the second slide, Aarons now receives the ball, turns, and now starting to run at the defence. And again, I've pointed this out. Jacob Murphy is free again. However, we don't need him. So it's something I've picked up. So you want to keep an eye on that in future games where Murphy's doing some busting the gut to get in the box. However, again, Mitrovic before and Rolando Aarons ignores Murphy, and then on the next slide you can see Aarons switched to his weaker foot and then just smash one in the top corner. What an absolutely fabulous strike. That's probably Rolando's best ever goal for Newcastle. So we went in extra time and blah blah blah. It was 2-2. It was very entertaining. Newcastle should have won the game in the second half, and then the Forest nicked it, and it was again just a simple basic marking. So the corner comes in and it's Mo Diame who goes to challenge. Now Mo Diame has to get tighter to win in that header. That's too easy. But the question is, Grant Hanley's got 2 men. Why is that? What is Chancel Mbemba doing there in the box, not picking up any man? And when the player moves forward, got a free header, and Nottingham Forest go and win the game. You know, so it's simple, basic marking from the corner. Diarmi, Mbemba's in knee man's land, and Hanley's got 2 men to pick up. So defensively, Hanley, Mbemba and Xavier are involved in a lot of those goals last night. And he asked himself the question, the 2 or 3 out of 2 or 3 of them probably don't have a future at the club, and defensively that we're not going to really miss that. Positively though, as I mentioned, Mitrovic for me has to play. He scored. Whether he has a poor game and scores or not, you play your strikers who score. And Roland Aarons was absolutely fantastic. He was out, without a shadow of a doubt, man the match. We're going to be moving on to the West Ham picture now in the next day or two. See you later, bye bye.